Have you ever stood in front of your closet, only to pause when your eyes landed on an old handbag? It sits quietly in the corner, its color faded with time, the strap starting to fray. And maybe, just maybe, you can't quite remember the last time you actually felt beautiful wearing it. Maybe you were 30 back then, your hair full of life, your steps confident, turning heads without even trying. You picked that bag for a reason. It represented something: youth, ambition, a role you once embraced, or a version of yourself you deeply loved. But time moved on. That role faded. The way people looked at you shifted. And that bag, it slowly became a silent reminder of something you didn't want to say out loud. That somewhere along the way, you started feeling invisible. I've heard this from so many women in their 50s and 60s, as a fashion designer, but also as a fellow traveler through the seasons of womanhood. They tell me, I still carry a bag, still get dressed, still go to work, still see friends. But when I look in the mirror, I don't recognize myself anymore. They go through the motions, but the spark, the love for dressing, for expressing who they are, has dimmed. They're not choosing bags because they love them anymore. They're choosing them because it's what they've always done. And that's one of the quietest heartbreaks of all, the slow fading of your sense of self. Turning 50 isn't the problem. Being 60 doesn't make you less stunning. What truly weighs on so many women's hearts is this question: am I still showing up as the woman I want to be? Because fashion, especially your handbag, isn't just about looks. It reflects back to you how you see yourself, or how much you've stopped seeing yourself altogether. The bag you carry every day isn't just for holding things. It quietly tells the world who you are right now and who you're becoming. This video isn't really about handbags. It's about you, the woman who's gently, maybe even secretly, trying to rediscover her beauty in a world that just keeps rushing by. I'm not here to throw trends at you. I won't tell you to dress like you're 25 again. Instead, I want us to look deeper. Which bags are making you look older than you feel? Which ones are holding you back in an outdated version of yourself? And most importantly, what choices can help you shine with elegance, maturity, and undeniable presence? Because fashion isn't about chasing youth. It's about expressing your beauty right now in the fullest, ripest season of who you are. Thank you for watching. If anything in this video speaks to you, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. I'd love to hear your story. The oversized bag, when the bag starts to outshine you. You used to carry the whole world in your handbag, but have you ever stopped to ask yourself, is that bag carrying your life or swallowing you whole? In your 30s, it made perfect sense. You'd rush out the door with a big, slouchy tote filled with a packed lunch, important work documents, a rolled-up cardigan, a giant water bottle, makeup, and maybe even a backup pair of shoes. You were a mom, a professional, a caretaker, 1,000 roles in one. That oversized bag, it had your back. But now you're 50, maybe 60. Life has changed. The kids are grown, the hustle has slowed, and you've earned the right to carry a little less, physically and emotionally. And yet, that same oversized bag is still hanging from your shoulder, heavy, bulky, and maybe even making you look weighed down in more ways than one. I've seen it so many times. A graceful, elegant woman in her 60s walks into a room, and all eyes go to the bag. Not her. Because that oversized tote, no matter how expensive or trendy, overpowers her figure, her style, her presence. Instead of highlighting her grace, it swallows it. From a designer's perspective, proportion is the language of elegance. In fashion, proportion isn't just a detail, it's everything. A handbag shouldn't be chosen just because it's beautiful. It needs to be beautiful on you. After 50, your body naturally begins to shift. You might be a little shorter, your shoulders softer, your frame more delicate, your walk more poised and intentional. These subtle changes call for a bag that honors who you are now, not who you used to be. An oversized handbag can throw all of that off. It can make you look smaller, but not in a delicate way, in a dwarfed, overpowered way. It can cause one shoulder to slope if you've been carrying weight on just one side for years. And over time, it might even affect your posture. As a designer, I truly believe this. The best fashion doesn't compete with you, it complements you. A handbag should never steal your spotlight. It should quietly, confidently support it. The shift from big because I have to just right because I choose to. So let's talk alternatives. Instead of a large, shapeless tote, try something more structured, medium-sized, with clean lines and a clear silhouette. Something that holds your essentials, but also holds its own in terms of style and sophistication. A structured handbag is one of the best choices for women over 50. It signals confidence, clarity, and elegance without ever looking like you're trying too hard. It says, I know who I am, I know what I need, and I choose things that reflect that. Picture this. You're wearing a soft beige midi dress, a lightweight trench draped over your shoulders, and in your hand, a caramel-colored structured bag made of supple leather with sturdy handles and just the right amount of polish. You're not flashy, you're not screaming for attention, but people notice. Because the look is complete, because it's you, refined, relaxed, and radiant. What to look for in a medium-sized, elegant handbag. Neutral colors like taupe, navy, camel, cream, charcoal, or olive make your wardrobe more versatile and refined. Quality materials such as genuine leather, premium canvas, or textured fabric with structure help the bag hold its shape and elevate your entire outfit. Minimal hardware and details, keep it clean. Avoid excess zippers, flashy logos, or trendy tassels. Simplicity always wins. Strap length matters, avoid bags that hang too low. The ideal length should hit between your waist and upper hip to maintain a balanced silhouette and flatter your height. A bag shouldn't just hold your things, it should hold up your image. At this stage in life, you're not carrying around everything anymore. You're carrying your wisdom, your story, your grace. So choose a handbag that walks beside you, not in front of you. Something that lifts your look, not something that weighs it down. Something that lets people say, "What a beautiful woman, and what a perfect bag she's carrying." And here's the truth. This is just the beginning. Because right after oversized bags, there's another silent culprit that might be aging your look. When too many details make your bag and your style feel forced. The more we try to prove we're still young, the easier it is for our style to betray us. I once met a woman in her early 60s, graceful, elegant, and full of charm. But when she walked into my fashion seminar, the first thing I noticed wasn't her warm smile. It was her handbag, a large, hot pink purse covered in tassels, dangling zippers, crisscrossing gold chains. Honestly, that bag was screaming, "Look at me, I'm still young and fun." But what lingered wasn't a sense of youthfulness. It was the feeling that something was trying a little too hard, and in the process, drowning out the woman's real elegance. And she's not alone. So many women in their 50s and 60s fall into the same trap, trying to look younger by overloading their outfits, especially their handbags, with extra details. More zippers, more charms, more chains, more prints, more colors. It might feel like you're adding personality, but often it just adds noise. And that noise can steal the quiet confidence that truly defines mature style. Because here's the truth. Refinement doesn't come from complexity, it comes from clarity. 1. When your bag tries to talk too much. A handbag isn't just a utility piece, it's a visual statement. And just like in conversation, sometimes less truly says more. A bag with 5 zippers, 3 charms, 2 chains, and a set of tassels isn't making a strong impression. It's just overwhelming. It's trying to shout, "I'm trendy, I'm bold, I've still got it." But when everything is loud, nothing really gets heard. You don't need a bag to prove anything. You just need a bag that speaks calmly, clearly, and beautifully for the woman you already are. 2. The more you add, the less you shine. I get it. Many women think that by adding colors, prints, and fun details, they're making their look more youthful or less plain. But honestly, looking old doesn't come from age. It comes from trying to run away from it. A clean, structured bag in a soft neutral might not turn heads the way a neon fringe bag does, but it shows discernment, intention, and quiet strength. You don't need to shout to be noticed. And that, right there, is the true power of a woman at 60. Let me ask you this. If 2 women walked by, one carrying a bright red bag covered in tassels and chunky chains, the other holding a minimalist beige leather tote, who would you glance at longer? Not because one is trendier, but because one radiates calm, confidence, and self-awareness. That's presence. That's style. 3. My designer's tip: refine, don't decorate. As a designer who works specifically with women over 50, I always say, edit, don't decorate. And nowhere is this more important than with handbags. Here, what I suggest. Material: go for real leather, high-quality faux leather, or sturdy canvas. The smoother the texture, the more elegant the impression. Shape: look for structure. Avoid floppy or overly slouchy styles. They can age your look or come off too casual. Color: rich, timeless shades like cognac brown, cool beige, deep teal, ash gray. They never go out of style. Details: keep it minimal. A solid clasp, a quality handle, that's enough. Instead of chasing young and fun with cartoon prints, bold slogans, or wild fringe, invest in a bag that says, "I've lived. I've chosen carefully. I know who I am." 4. Minimalism isn't boring, it's powerful. Being minimal doesn't mean you're boring. It means your style has been distilled, like a fine perfume. You don't need to say much when every part of your outfit, down to the bag, is saying it for you. Minimalist style only truly shines when it's worn by a woman who's grown into it. And if you look at the women who are always described as elegant or poised, you'll notice something. They're never the ones carrying the wildly patterned bag with a dozen hanging charms. Sometimes, all it takes to feel more like yourself again is to take a few things off. But choosing the right bag isn't just about taking away the extras. It's about building a connection between you and the bag you carry. So what happens when the bag you've been wearing feels a little too playful, too trendy, too young, while you're living fully into your own kind of beautiful in your 50s and 60s. Worn out, shapeless bags. When memories deserve to stay, but style needs to move forward. Let's be honest, some bags are more than just accessories. They're memory keepers, pieces of your youth, a reminder of that unforgettable trip. A gift from someone you loved, a quiet companion through rainy days and joyful coffee dates. Maybe it's the same bag you clutched on your first solo vacation after turning 50. But when was the last time you really looked at that bag? When did you last give it a good clean? Are the stitches still holding up? Are the corners frayed? And more importantly, does that bag still reflect the woman you are today? When style can't keep up with memory. So many women in their 60s have said to me, "I just can't get rid of this bag. It's my lucky charm." And you know what? I get it. Fashion should never be so cold that it ignores emotion. But true style, evolved style, should walk alongside who you are now. When a bag starts to lose its shape, fade in color, or sag at the seams, it can unintentionally drag down your whole outfit. Even if you're wearing a structured blazer or a soft silk dress, the harmony gets disrupted the moment a tired bag enters the scene. Everything feels polished, until that slouchy, worn-out bag whispers, "I've been here too long." You might think, "Oh, no one notices." But trust me, people do notice. Not in a judgmental way, but in the way we all pick up on what looks thoughtfully put together. Being polished doesn't mean wearing designer or spending a fortune. It simply means knowing what to hold on to and what to let go. From a designer's eye. As a designer, I often watch how a bag sits next to a woman. From across the room, I can tell a lot just by the way it hangs from her shoulder, droops at her elbow, or slides down her hip. Soft leather bags, especially those used for many years, tend to collapse, losing their original structure. This is especially true for bags without reinforced linings or built-in frames. Here's something simple you can try. Place your favorite old bag on a table. Does it hold its shape, or fall flat like a piece of cloth? If it collapses instantly, that's a sign. Because when you carry that bag, it's no longer supporting your presence, it's quietly dimming it. Tip: throw it out, transform it. I would never suggest you toss out something so full of memories. But you can breathe new life into it. If it's a leather bag, take it to a skilled leather shop for a good clean, a polish, or even a stitch repair. A simple restoration can take years off its appearance, like sending it to a weekend spa. If the bag's truly past its prime, consider preserving it as a keepsake. Then, have a new version custom-made, modern in form, updated in color, yet still inspired by the one you loved. You could even reincarnate the bag by repurposing its material into a small pouch, a keychain, or an accent piece attached to your new purse. That way, your memories don't get buried. They evolve right along with you. Because style isn't about clinging to the past. It's about letting the past shine again in a new light. Inspiration, a new bag for the new you. Can I tell you something simple but powerful? You deserve a new bag. Not to chase trends, not to impress anyone, but to remind yourself, when you look in the mirror, that you've entered a new season of life. Wiser, more graceful, beautifully seasoned, and yes, still radiant. Whether it's genuine leather or vegan, high-end designer or local artisan, if chosen with intention, The right bag elevates your entire look. Look for one that keeps its shape, in a fresh but soft tone like cool beige, ivory cream, dusty blue, or smoky green. It should feel light in your hand, yet structured enough to give your posture a lift. Because that's not just a bag, it's a quiet declaration. I'm still moving forward, and I still choose beauty every single day. Size, STRAPS, and posture, little details that make a big difference. Have you ever asked yourself, why does that same bag look so chic on someone else, but feels off on me? Here's a little secret. It's usually not the bag. It's how it fits your body, how it moves with you, and how connected you are to yourself while carrying it. After 50, our bodies shift in subtle ways. Posture, shoulder alignment, the curve of our back, even the way we walk. They seem like small changes, but they affect how your everyday bag looks and feels on you. 1. When the bag makes you look smaller. I once worked with a 62-year-old client, graceful, petite, with a softness about her that felt like a late-blooming flower. She walked in with a large, deep red shoulder bag, slung low and heavy. Before I noticed her gentle smile, all I could see was the bag. It overpowered everything about her. A bag that's too big or hangs too low can throw off your whole look. It pulls the eye downward, makes your back look hunched, your shoulders slope, and your energy feel weighed down. Remember this. Your bag shouldn't be the center of attention. It should support your style, not compete with it. Two-strap matters more than you think. A strap that's too thin might make a strong frame feel unbalanced. A thick, heavy strap on narrow shoulders can feel overwhelming. And if your bag hangs too far to one side, it can throw off your posture and create an awkward, off-balance silhouette. Here are a few tips I often share as a designer who works closely with women in their 50s and 60s. If you have narrow shoulders, go for medium to wide straps. They help the bag sit naturally on your shoulder without digging in or looking out of place. If you're tall with a straighter build, try structured crossbody bags or longer handheld totes. They help elongate your silhouette even more. If you're petite, opt for small to medium-sized bags with shorter straps that hit around your hip, not lower. This keeps proportions flattering and polished. These small adjustments, they're what transform a nice look into a truly elegant one. 3. Posture is your secret style weapon. Style isn't just about clothes or accessories. It's in the way you stand, the way you walk, the way you casually rest your hand on a strap or gently adjust your bag as you step out of the car. A bag that hangs too low might cause you to lean forward slightly, aging your silhouette by 5 years instantly. A strap that pulls to one side can lower your shoulder and disrupt your natural stance. The solution isn't just a new bag. It's awareness, realizing that posture and the way you carry yourself are just as important as what you carry. 4. Your bag should follow your energy, not lead it. One thing I always say as a designer: a woman is most beautiful when she's not trying too hard, and the right bag reflects that. The goal isn't for someone to say, "Wow, she's carrying a designer bag." It's for them to wonder, why does she look so effortlessly elegant? When your bag, your clothes, and your body speak the same quiet, confident language, there's no need to show off. You just are, and people can't help but take notice. 5. A few simple tweaks to instantly elevate your look. Stand in front of a mirror and walk with your bag. If you feel like you're adjusting yourself too much to make it work, that's a sign the bag isn't right for you. Choose versatile bags. A bag with both a shoulder strap and a top handle gives you options for different occasions and postures. Mind your posture. Straighten your back, open your shoulders. Carry the bag like it's part of you, not a burden you're hauling. Adjust the strap. A simple shift in strap length can completely change your proportions and how your whole outfit comes together. When you start seeing your bag not just as a utility, but as part of your presence, something shifts. That attention to detail, that's what sets apart the woman who's simply well-dressed from the one who leaves a lasting impression. But here's the real question. Even with perfect posture and the right proportions, what if the bag you're carrying is simply too old, too tired, and has lost its shape? Let's talk about that in Part 6, where we explore how accessories aren't just for carrying things, they're for carrying your style. A bag isn't just to carry things, it's to carry your style. There's something curious about fashion that only becomes clear as we get older. Accessories stop being just something we throw on to complete a look. They become reflections of who we are, and a handbag, small as it may seem, often carries the energy and essence of the woman herself. You don't need a closet full of bags, honestly. Sometimes 3 or 4 well-chosen ones can do far more for your style than shelves packed with trendy pieces that don't really speak to you. At this stage in life, you've lived through decades of experiences. What you deserve now is a more meaningful kind of selection. The right bag can change the way you step outside. It might make you stand a little taller, care a little more about what you're wearing, and walk with a bit more confidence. It's not just something to hold your phone, wallet, or sunglasses. It's part of the visual story you tell the world each day. It could be a cool-toned beige tote, structured enough for work, elegant enough for an afternoon in town. Maybe it's a soft clutch for those special evenings when you want to feel just a little bit luxurious. Or a compact crossbody that keeps things easy and hands-free while still making you look effortlessly pulled together. By now, it's no longer just about fashion. It's about awareness. Awareness of your body, your personal style, your age, and the beautiful truth that you deserve to step into the world as the best version of yourself, without having to prove anything to anyone. I've met so many women in their 60s who smile gently and say, "Oh, I don't care about fashion anymore." But then, just try handing them the right bag. Suddenly, their eyes shift. They stand a little longer in front of the mirror. They tilt their head, adjust their posture, and smile. Not because the bag is cute, but because in that moment they saw themselves again, vibrant, radiant, and quietly powerful. Women are at their most beautiful when they're not trying too hard. And the right bag, it doesn't scream for attention. It just fits, naturally, softly, as if it was made to walk beside you through this chapter of your life. So here's a little message from me, as a designer who loves the quiet elegance of mature women. Choose your bag the way you choose your life, with depth, with intention, and never out of pressure. And if anything I shared today resonated with you, don't be shy. Leave a comment. Hit subscribe to join me here at Bold After 50 as we explore fashion, style, and the soulful confidence of women in their 50s and 60s. Because you deserve to shine, in your own way, on your own terms.